Glenlarthen, and this time I've actually hit record. So this is me just finishing up a silage contract that I did just to finish out the day in June. From that contract on field 103, we're going to get nearly 12 grand. And so the field produced 40 bales and we only needed to deliver 18. So 22 excess silage bales. That seems kind of broken. I don't know if it's because precision farming is still giving really high grass yields or what, but I'm not going to complain because it's a lot of bales. And that really helps with our food situation, which is very cool. So the other thing that's going to help is we're going to be whole cropping the field of wheat in front of us next month, and actually be doing that later in this video. So what I'm thinking is once we've got those bales made and I know how much they hold, I'm going to edit the feed mix so that we can put in a bale of whole crop to go with the hay and the grass silage. That probably means we'll use less grass silage. It might be that we go, so at the moment it's kind of half a bale of hay, 2 bales of grass silage and the extra bits. I think what it might end up is about half a bale of hay, a bale of silage, a bale of whole crop, while we've got the whole crop bales anyway. And then the other bits that I put in, I did ponder, and I really don't think I want to because it's a lot of extra kit that we don't have at the moment. I did ponder doing mini bales and then getting the bale packer, so, and then wrapping them so we could make small whole crop silage bales. A bit like I did on Attingham when I was doing that series for feeding sheep. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to bale them, and if need be, we can always chuck them in the feed mixer and shred the bales and just tip some on the floor for now. That is an option that we can go with, mainly because I don't know if we'll get enough bales to put a bale in it, and when we run out we can change it, so it's not a problem. I might put it as not a minimum, that just the max is somewhere under a whole bale. Yeah, I'm not sure how much the bales are going to hold, so it's been, I think the last time I did whole crop silage was on Attingham, and we did the little bales and then packed them into the sets of 8, so it's been a while. And yeah, I can't remember how it compares to grass, so we'll see. If we're going to get sheep, we will need some of the whole crop for that as well. That's part of their feeding. Where we can't grow clover or alfalfa, whole crop is an alternative. Kind of makes sense, you know, it's a crop that you can make on any map. So we may need to hang on to some, or I'll end up buying clover or alfalfa silage. Or tweak the feeding, you know. So one of the things, I recorded about 20 minutes of this commentary without hitting record on OBS. I was talking last time about wanting a new grass field, and maybe buying field 6. What I've realized is that in July, the field in front of us is going to be empty. Now, I'm not entirely sure this works yet because I've not checked. I'm not sure how the crop rotation is going to work, because I do have the crop rotation mod in, so we need to sort that out. Potentially, I could put grass in there and we could use that for indirect grazing. So that's a possibility that I'm seriously considering. I do need to have a look at the crop rotation. I like the crops that we're growing. So we're growing wheat for whole crop silage, barley for straw, and we'll sell the barley grain, I think. We might put it in the feed, I'm not sure. We'll probably sell it. Maize for silage, and then potatoes for the feed. So I like that rotation. I need to check how it works in the crop rotation mod. I don't think I've put it in properly yet. So, but it may be that we mix grass in, so we do whole crop, grass, something. I'm thinking maybe whole crop, grass, corn, so it's a crop, or potato, so it's a crop that we plant in the spring. I have most of a mix made up here, so I've got the hay and the silage in. While the Merlot was off doing the silage contract, I didn't have a bucket that I could use, because the only bucket I think I've got is the one for the Merlot. So what I'm thinking is something we spoke about on the Terra Life stream yesterday, is getting a smaller bucket. So maybe so I typically want to put in less than 1,700 litres of each of these. He says picking up a bucket full of potatoes. And what I'm thinking is I might get a smaller bucket that's about 1,500 litres, so I can just fill it. I'm kind of actually I'm just thinking, I'm going through all of this, I'm pretty sure there's a bucket sat on the Fiat. When we go in the shed, we'll look. I'm pretty sure there's a bucket sat on the Fiat, and I'm pretty sure it's a smaller bucket, because I'm pretty sure I bought it to use on the feeder tractor for that reason. Oh, God, I'm so dumb sometimes. We'll see in a minute, because we're going to service the 8410, because it's a mess. Yeah, it's not in good condition. So we've also been put a load of water in the cows. I end up in this video switching the cows over to automatic watering. The alternative would be that I need to make, with the number of cows we've got in the pasture, I need to make the water capacity much bigger, and at that point it may as well be automatic. So we're probably going to be paying more, but it's a job we don't have to do now. So I think it's these days is so rare that water for animals is not automatic. So yeah, you know, it's a permanent pasture. There's no reason that we wouldn't have had it plumbed in my mind. So took that step. I kind of liked, I don't know if you guys, when we had seasons and we had the water pump that you could go and switch on to fill up water every day. I thought that was such a cool mod, or part of mod. But FS22 has much easier automatic watering. It's a flag in the XML for the placeable, so that's what I've gone with. So otherwise I'm going to be doing so many tankers full of water, and you know, basing it on my years of experience of watching YouTube. You don't see many farmers doing that. So, and the only places that I've seen it in the UK is when the fields are very remote and they will take a big tanker of water out and leave it in the field to auto top up something else. So, you know, I mean, as you can see, this thing needs a lot of fuel and a decent repair. There's something that I've been trying to keep on top of, and somehow this tractor's missed it. I don't know whether it's because it's been, you know, used as a baling and a carting tractor. Well, not baling, or a carting tractor mostly, but yeah, I need to get some more diesel. One of the things that's actually been really nice with this save is we're in a position now where I can just buy diesel and repair tractors when I need to, rather than thinking back to the start of this save where I would have to wait to have enough money to get a tractor serviced, or I would wait to buy diesel because I couldn't afford to, because I had other things that I needed to pay for. So yeah, it's kind of cool to be in a much better position now. Obviously we've got a huge fleet of equipment as well, and that's just going to keep growing, well, assuming that I can afford to grow it when we come to next August. So yeah, and I mentioned in the last video that Mark and Kartek had finished off the hay contracts for me, and those are the excess bales. So they did an awesome job, $4,000 to repair that tractor. And now we'll go in the tractor shed and see if the bucket that I just remembered I had existed is, yep, there it is. There it is. I'm not sure what size it is, but that would have been an option. I could have got that TMR mixed up. Oh well. It might be too big for what I want, so I might still buy a smaller bucket, but we will see. So, going to get the milk sold. We've got about 17,000 litres of milk. Milk production's kind of dipped a little bit at the moment because the majority of our older cows are a couple of months away from calving, and that's when their milk production stops and then ramps back up. So we've only got a few cows producing milk, so it's a good point to get it sold. And then yeah, I think in August we will have a whole load of calves, and I'm thinking that those fresh calves we might put in the improvised animal shed. We should have straw by then so we can bed them down. And I might edit that so that I can put milk in for them. It might be that I just tweak the feeding, and so the milk goes in the big trough, so they'll have a essentially big lake of milk to drink. I'm not sure I want to go through the detail of adding in buckets for them to drink from and that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see. I might get enthused, but anyway, we are down at the farmers market. They want 18,000 litres of milk, so obviously milk is very popular here. I'm up tomorrow. I need to pick up dog food, and that means I'm going to be stopping in the local farm to buy fresh milk from their vending machine, which comes fresh from their cows, which is so tasty, so much better than shop milk. And it's cool because you're buying it direct from the farmer rather than via a supermarket and all that kind of thing. So 12 grand from the milk, and so I thought I would check the sales. I've been waiting to buy one of these for a very long time on this save. It's something that I've wanted for several in-game years, and it's finally cropped up in the sales. It's the Iveco 190/48. So we're going to get back to the yard and we're going to buy one of these. I think it's going to be really useful. We can run it as a bale trailer. We can run it as a 30,000 litre grain hauler. And it's got a hitch on the back. So probably I will look at getting a dolly trailer to put on the back of it as well, because there are a lot of harvesting contracts coming up. So being able to move a lot of grain around the map is going to be useful. So it's going to cost us about £53,000, which is, pretty good price for something like this. Nearly 500 horsepower. Main things, it can hold 30,000 litres of grain, or I'm pretty sure we can get a lot of bales on the back of that. And it will do 50 miles an hour. So, particularly with harvest contract season coming up, it's going to be really useful for delivering the grain, whether that's bringing it back to the farm so we can do a whole bunch of contracts and then deliver it, or whether it's taking it off to sell points. And if we get a dolly trailer to put on the back, we can probably push that up to, about 50,000 litres. And some of the patrons who enjoy their harvesting contracts did enjoy frustrating me by towing around two grain trailers to deliver stuff. I'm just thinking, we have got them both still. We've got the two, I've forgotten the brand they are, the two red grain trailers in the back there. I suspect one of those would hook up to this, but I think a dolly trailer would be more realistic. So yeah, we've finally got the truck that I've wanted for an incredibly long time. The water tanker is filling up again. I think this was maybe the last day that I had manual watering on. Because we buy our used kit from somewhere rather dodgy, it does arrive needing a service. So that's an extra 2 grand. But, I think 55 grand for this is a bargain. It's only got 11 hours on the clock, which is not a lot. I expect that could increase rather quickly in the coming game months. Yeah. Super pleased, and we're going to put it to work straight away, because I realized that the price for soybeans is actually at its peak. Pretty much. It's close enough that I'm going to get these sold. And yeah, we can make a bit of mid-year cash. And these are all soybeans that were excess from harvesting contracts. There is a bit of a funny in time-saving stock check, if you're watching, Mark, that it's showing me twice the volume of soybeans, because I have 2 possible silos that it could be detected in within range of each other, even though it's only in one silo. So there we go. You can see it there. It's showing up in the silo and in the Karma 16. So it gets sorted because as soon as I empty the silo, the other one goes away because they're obviously sharing. One's acting as an extension to the other, I assume. And as we crash our brand new truck, but yeah, it's going to get us back, yeah, maybe half of what we've spent on this new truck, which is cool. So, and this was the point where I realised that I was not recording last time. Yeah. So this video has taken a little bit longer to finish. Not a problem. Yeah, so did I speak about it? I don't remember because I've done this twice. So I maybe won't mention it again, just in case I have. I'm planning to cut back on some things, and that means probably pausing dicks for now. Sounds so wrong. But I don't remember if I've spoken about that in this commentary or the previous one. So, yeah. There was a video on Friday, today, for me, but that might be the last one for a little bit. And yeah, I was driving past this field and I went, oh yeah, I was going to talk about buying grass fields. And then I looked across and saw OBS wasn't recording. And it is now, so... yeah, we'll get these delivered, and then I'm going to press ahead to July so that we can work on the whole crop silage, because I could have spent another day or so doing baling contracts, but I needed to get a video recorded, and I didn't want to make another video that was just baling contracts. So let's get these sold, see what kind of cash we're going to make. 20 to 23,500 nearly. It's not bad. It's not bad. It is almost half of what we paid for the truck. So yeah, it is July now. It's midday because it was raining all morning. I forgot to put the time back on ×5, but yeah, we had to skip the morning. I have done the automatic watering at this point because it was overnight between the end of June and the beginning of July. Although I'd given the cows loads of water, they ran out through the night. And so their health took a hit, and that was kind of the point where I went, nah, we're going to change that. So this will look like there's not very much yield. Something that we were talking about in Terra Life stream last night. The way farm sim works, the fill types or height types only have a single height for the dumping on the ground. I'm going to skip most of the headland so that we don't have the weird flashing texture, just because I like to be careful about that kind of stuff. And the problem would be if it looked like more on the field, when you put it in a bunker silo, it'd be ridiculous. A really good example is if you modify a bunker silo so you can put hay in it and it goes in as hay, you'll realize just how little you will fit. And so this is kind of a balance of, yeah, it doesn't look like much on the field, particularly once I windrow it, but actually there's quite a lot of crop. But that's because of the way the game works, and the height of the crop on the ground is shared. And if it was made to look like more on the field, it would be ridiculous when you put it in something like a bunker silo. So yeah, that's why it's the way it is. I suspect we will get rather a lot of bales off of here when we bale this next time. Yeah, I am going to bale it in the next video because this is already half an hour long. So I was actually going to stop once I had done the mowing, but it felt a little bit short. So I know sometimes things being a bit short can be a little disappointing, so we added a bit more length, you know, keep people satisfied. So done some fairly generous headlands, and now going to have a look, and we will see, because we are in July, harvest season is here. There are many harvesting contracts. I do end up taking the rest of them as well, and the cultivating one, so there is lots of work for DS Agri and me, because I've been doing a bunch of the contracts as well, because I enjoy just doing contracts quietly in the background and playing the game. It's my way of being able to play farm sim without having to record all the time and just having a bit of fun, but not affecting, you know, in big amounts the progress of the save. So I know I do often say it's one of my pet peeves that, you know, people go away and go, it's next video, we've done 4 million contracts. But I mean, it's part of an element of this because the multiplayer aspect of it means they can be done like that. Sometimes people will grab a bit of footage for me to throw in, like Kartek did last time, or Mark will grab screenshots and that kind of thing. But that's sometimes going to happen naturally anyway. So yeah, if you're interested in that, it's part of the £5 or above tier on Patreon at the moment, and it's not a permanent multiplayer, so it's only available usually at weekends and usually around when I'm recording stuff. So if you're signing up just for that, be aware that it's not permanent multiplayer. It's not something that I do at the moment. But yeah, say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members at this point. You guys are all awesome. I do have my pen handy, so I can make a note of the time. It's a whole process, you know. It's a whole process. So we are pretty much done with mowing. One strip to go, and I don't remember if I reset the precision farming yield information, so I don't know if what I saw as a number in precision farming was accurate. If it was, I'm pretty pleased. Obviously the yield map looks pretty good. The slight problem I have with precision farming is this is one field that's been split in two because we couldn't afford to buy more fields, but we needed to grow more crops. As I expand the farm, I'll eventually remove those splits. So probably once we've bought another field or two, we'll be able to take those out and have these as single fields. But for now, we have to run them as two fields cut into four. So I don't think that's a problem. I think we're going to get enough yield for what we need, particularly with all the contracting. So yeah, we're growing barley for straw, but I suspect we might get some straw off some of the contracts as well. And some of that we'll have to keep. I know last time the guys were selling the straw like crazy and it made us loads of money, but we might need to keep some of it. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, I definitely think we could hook a bale trailer up to the back of the truck, and that's going to carry an insane amount of bales. And it's 500 horsepower, so it should pull them okay. I mean, there are a lot of hills on this map, so it might struggle on the hills, but, you know, we can easily get 25 plus bales on one of the big bale trailers, so we could be rocking 50 bales on the back of that, which will be really cool. That will really help. Yeah. Yeah, so the windrows look, as I said, the windrows look quite small, but they're really not. And we've got the weird mixing of the grass on these ones, so the first few bales off the headlands might be a bit dodgy as to what we end up with. But although these windrows look very small, you'll see next time that the baler fills very quickly. So yeah, we do get a good yield. When I was doing these on Attingham, I was just doing the two headlands. I would mow the two headlands and combine the rest of the field, and we got so much off of just two headlands. And they were quite big fields, but even so, it was pretty impressive. So I'm, based on what I've seen from the precision farming menu and what I know from this, I think we'll have about 150,000 litres of whole crop off of this field. Which is potentially, I guess, 10 to 30 bales of whole crop silage, depending on how much goes in them. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And it's something that I haven't routinely used as part of the feeding. So I did it on Attingham because the sheep needed it, and that series was about showing off lots of different features. But not in a normal Let's Play, because I've always felt that we needed to combine all of the combinable crops to get the straw and the grain. But with how this works, because of all the contracting, it's less of an issue. We could end up with enough grain that we could make grain mix again. I probably wouldn't use the little placeable again. It was kind of slow. Sorry, Raina, if you watch. I know Paul watches, apparently. It was kind of a shock. But yeah, I probably I have a long-term plan for a much higher horsepower tractor, so we would be able to run the grain mixer, grain grinder. So the starter mill, let's go with that. So we might use that approach. We'll see. It would be awesome if it cropped up in the sales. So I've got a really nice high horsepower tractor that's included in the mods. Because at some point I intend to buy it, but the cool thing about it being in the mods is it might crop up in the sales. So it would be really nice, because so much of what crops up in the sales is not from an era that I can use at the moment. It'd be really nice if you could set it so that the sales were only taken from the mod you had installed. And maybe it could be some... I don't know how to contact... I might try and contact the guy who does the vehicle sales system customizer mod and see if it's something that he could add. Because that'd be really cool. I guess the option... You've always got the option of setting the shop to be only mods. I think there's a mod for that, but that would remove some things that I am using that aren't mods, like the windrower that we have here. So yeah, I don't quite want to go that far, but it would be cool if more of the stuff that's in the sales was from the mod set that's installed, because that obviously has a lot of older stuff in it that is era appropriate, not genre. The genre is farming, so it's all appropriate, assuming it's farming kit. As is required at the moment, because of the weather in the UK, I'm going to complain how hot it is. It's not... It's quite early still, and it's 28 degrees in the spare room. I can see it very quickly approaching maybe 30, which will be lovely again. I really hope this hot weather goes away soon. It really messes with my head. So I'd had a pretty clear run for, I was getting headaches, but they weren't making me struggle to function. This week has been much worse for that. I've had to cancel a few work things, and yeah. I'm hoping that I can get through the work things today, because some of the ones that I've cancelled, I don't think we can move any more past where they are now today. So just going to have to suck it up and go with it. The big limiting factor has been the eye thing has come back. So one of the side effects I get with the possibly cluster headaches, is what I've been diagnosed with by the GP, is that I get something called kaleidoscope vision, which means even if I close my eyes, I see little swirly patches and bright things. And when what you're trying to do involves reading, that becomes really hard. And quite a lot of my job involves reading stuff. Looking at a computer screen involves reading a lot of the time. I'm in the process of reviewing something for someone, and it's taken me a day and a half so far to do something that should have probably taken me half a day, because I have to keep stopping. They're actually starting to crop up now, which is maybe why I've started talking about them, but also slightly worrying because it's quite early in the day and I've got a lot of stuff to get done. So we'll see how the day goes, I guess. But pretty much done with the windrowing as well. Didn't take too long. I said the windrows look really small. There's quite a lot of crop in there, trust me. And it's about a compromise of it looking smaller on the field but more sensible everywhere else. So yeah, you just got to go with it. Because otherwise things get, the game only currently allows for one height type. With the team we have in Terra Life, we could probably change that, but things just start to get so much more complex. If you've got to have 3 height types per fill type and have a switcher, you very quickly start to run out of things. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. We do not smash like buttons here. If you break it, you have to buy me a coffee, and I will see you next time to get this baled up.